Hello and welcome to another video of abstract thesis series. And in today's video we are going to discuss how can we do pagination in a Power BI visual. Means so I would like to create a mechanism where I have some page numbers like 1 2 3 4 and I see a limited amount of data on a given page. So let me showcase you one example. What do I mean by that? So I have created this visual on the Power BI, and if you see I have a page number slicer here. If I'm on the page 1, you can see in first visual the first two are highlighted because I have the measure which is paginated, and in the second visual I only have the measure which is paginated, so I'm only getting 2 records. So the page size is basically 2 records per page. If I place on the second page, you can see the next 2 rows are highlighted and I'm only seeing next two values here. Same way when I go to page number 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 is the last page. So in this manner I am able to do a pagination. Now this was a small data, so I have done a pagination of 2 rows per page. Or I have another visual where basically I have 130 pages and each page contains 10. So if I click on the first one, you will see this visual is only getting 10 and the 10 is matching with the top of this one, and I have also created a row number using the new function row number so that I can actually see whether my traveling across the pages is correct or not. So when I go to 2, now you will see that this visual on this page is again getting the 10 records only, but those records are starting from 11 number. So how do we achieve such kind of pagination? What I have done is, to achieve this, I have used Windows function. I have not used rank or row number. Windows function can do it easily, and as you can see, the data is actually little bit large. If I even try to scroll down here, see how much scroll I need, and it will keep on loading the data. So 130 pages, you can think about that. It has 1300 records, so it's not easy to go there. Now other than that, what I've done here is basically I have used the new slicer which has been released recently. So I've used that one, and that's where I have done a pagination in the new slicer also. But instead of pagination, we can have continuous scroll also in this one, so that right now if I have to go to 130th page, I need to press it so many times. But what we are going to do, when we are actually going to do this example for you, we are going to make it continuous scroll, and we will not have so many things. I have few things to explain it to you. So we'll create a very clear visual where we are able to do this kind of pagination. So let's begin our journey with an empty file on the Power BI where we are going to do this. So I'm on a new file, and in this file I have added a new page. So let's try the first example where I had the item brand, and with the item brand I had net. Now what's first thing in the pagination, you have to decide how you want to paginate. So I want to paginate based on what? I want to paginate based on net or brand. And definitely because I'm sorting on net, so I want pagination on net. So my visual should also be sorted on net to make sure that I am checking the right stuff. Anyway, the Windows function will take care of the pagination and you will get the correct data. But just to make sure that you are looking at the correct picture, if you sort, especially on the first visual, then you will be able to understand that pattern. Now second visual again I'm going to create, and in this visual I'm keeping it a little bit small because I'm only going to have 2 records. Now what all things I need? So first of all, I need something to give me the page numbers. Then I need to decide a page size. What is going to be my page size? And based on that, I need to work on a Windows function which can give me what records need to be appeared on that particular page. So let's start our journey. So first of all, let me create a very simple measure which is page size. Okay, and because I'm going to do multiple examples, so page size 1. What is my page size? 2. Very simple, my page size is 2. So now second thing, I need something to have the page number. So for that I'm going to take help of generate series. Now this is something which is I'm going to use in both the examples. So I need to create a little bit higher number of pages, and for that we are going to take help of the parameters. So I'll go to the modeling tab, and inside the modeling tab I'll go to new parameters, and I'm going to use numeric parameter, not the field parameter, the numeric parameter. And in the numeric parameter, I will have a numeric range. I'll call it as page, or you can call as pages. Whole number, minimum value is 1. We cannot have a 0 page number. Maximum value is 200. Increment by 1 and default is 1. So if nothing is selected, it is page 1. Create. Now it has given me by default a slicer. This is not the slicer which I wanted. So what I'll do is I'll enable build a visual, and I have done that change in the December 2023 release, that I'm getting this traditional kind of a build a visual. So here I go to build a visual and I'll change it to the new slicer, button slicer. I'm getting buttons. Now I need to reorganize these buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to the prop formats. If you're not seeing format, you will have an option here. And if you are also not able to see these options, you do have an option here on the 3 dots for format. So click on the 3 dots and format. And I'll also tell you, if you go to the view, you can enable whatever you want. Now all these things are there. So let's click on the layout of that one. How many rows we want? I want 1 row. How many columns we want? I want 10 columns. Maximum we can have 10. Let me make it a little bit smaller. And then it's going to overflow definitely. So I would want a continuous scroll. So it is like this kind of a scroll. Right now it's a vertical scroll, so I'll make it horizontal scroll. And now I will have a horizontal scroll. So with the roll of a mouse button I can go. But I don't have so many pages. I only have 7 pages. So first of all, what I need to do is I need to know how many pages I'm going to have. Okay. So number of pages, isn't it? So now I have page number as a slicer. I also have the page size. Using the page size and the visual, and remember these things, these are visual specific. You cannot have something like page 1, 2, 3, 4 all applying to different kind of visuals, having different kind of pagination rules. Right now I'm going to control this slicer based on the brand visual. So I know I have 13 brands, but sometime I may not have all the 13. I may have lesser data, isn't it? Some other filters are applying. So how do I know how many pages I need to have? So very simple, what I'm using in this visual, I'm using brand and net. So I need to know the count when I use brand and net. So I'll create another, so which is going to give me number of pages. So for that I need the and pages, and this I need to control. So first of all I need a variable where I need row count, how many rows I'm going to get. For that I'm going to use the function count rows. On what I'm going to do the count rows? So for that I'll use summarize. What is there in my visual? Item and brand. So I can simply use item, brand, summarize item, item brand, and then I have a major underscore 1 net. And let me now return the number of rows as of now. We'll convert it to page number. Okay. So number of pages is 13. But if I click on any one of those, number of pages may change. So slicers can impact the number of pages. Okay. Based on this, so right now I selected one value. I cannot have more than that. So selected values are actually considered here. Now if you see, I selected 3 or 4. So based on that, number of rows are coming. So it is responding to the selection. Now, but I don't need row count. I need page. What is my page size? So if I divide it by page size, so number of rows, if I divide by page size, so let's call it also number of pages 1. So I'm getting 7 number of pages, but sometimes it may not do rounding properly. So what you should do is it should be round up. You cannot go down. Okay. Round up 0. Even if it is 6.2, I don't need 6, I need 7. So now I know the number of pages. So what I'll do with this number of pages? First of all, I'll restrict my pages not to go beyond 7. For this slicer, I will add a visual level filter. Then to modify this number of pages a little bit. What I'm going to say here is, so basically I got my maximum number of pages. So what I'm going to do here is now is if max of page value, okay, or max of page number to less than equals to this, then I can return 1, else I can return blank. So what will happen, this measure will now give me a value whenever page number is less, and is going to give me blank when the page number is not there. Okay, so let me click on the page slicer, and in this page slicer let me add number of page 1 as a visual level. Inside, now I need to check number of pages is not blank and apply 1. So now you can see I only have the 7 pages. Now if I click here, it's not responding, there is no response to it. So I need to now make sure that it respond to that. To respond to this, I need to create a measure. That measure can again be used as a visual level filter, or that measure can be used in the visual itself. So this time around I'm going to use that measure in the visual. So let me create a measure. Now that measure which I'm going to create right now is net paginate to net page. Calculate net. I need to use the window function, and you remember when you use window function, then it's going to give us the set of records, and to make sure those records are getting filtered based on the rows, we use keep filters window. Now what window I want? So basically I got my page number, so I am going to get a selected page number, but what are the record that page number is going to address? So we need to create the record from the page number, isn't it? So what is my minimum which I'm going to get? Based on the page number, what is my minimum I have? So I have a page measure first of all. So there is a page value. Now page value is 1. Then but from where I need to start? I start from 1. So page value minus 1. I reduce the value from the page value. I multiply it by how many records I can have, page size. So page size. So the current page value, which is 1, minus 1 means 0, multiplied by page size, so it will become 0. So if it is 2, then it is 2 minus 1 is 1, multiplied by page size of 10 plus 1 is 11. So I will get 11. So 11 is my starting point. What is my end point? Where underscore max. So what is max? Max is going to be page value multiplied by page size. I don't need minus 1 now. So if I select 1 multiplied by 10 is 10. So 1 to 10. So because I need to go 1 to 10, I need to first reduce 1 to 0, multiplied by 10, it's going to become 0, plus 1 is first record. But when it is 2 minus 1 is 1, multiplied by 10 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So I'll get 11. So now I need the min and max values. Are these relative value or are these absolute values? So these are absolute values. Underscore min absolute, comma underscore max absolute. Now are we going to use all selected or are we going to use? In this case I'm using all selected, but you need to be a little bit careful. Depending on the implementation you may require all. So in this case I can live up with all selected. Then I need order by. My order by is a measure, and with the recent enhancement few months back, I don't need to add order by to my relation. So I given the starting position, I given the ending position, I given the relation, and in the relation I don't need a measure. So I can simply now use a measure net. And order by what? Descending, because window function is by default ascending. All these functions which are very equal to SQL window function, the sort order is ascending. Do I need any partition order by or something? No, I don't need. So I can close window function. I can close key filters. I can also close calculate. Now my measure is ready. So net page. So let me add it in the first visual. And let me convert it back to the bar. Now you can see the first two. Okay. In the second visual, I'm actually going to remove the net and only will have net page. So I'll put net page and I'll remove the net. So now you only see brand 8, and I'll make sure that I've sorted on net descending. So let me give a little bit more space to showcase it to you now. So page 1, what we are getting, page 1 is this. The page second is next two records, 11, brand 11, brand 5, that is coming in. Let's move to the next page, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7. Very good. This is a small example. What happens when we have a bigger data, larger data, across dimension data? We have across dimension data, then what would happen? So let's take that second example where we have little bit larger data. So for that little bit larger data, what I have done here is basically I'm going to take data from two different dimensions. So on a new page, I'm going to bring in city from the geography table and brand from the item table. And I'll bring in net. And I can sort on net. Now, to help you understand what page number each record is going to give, I'm going to use a row number function and I'm going to put the row number also here in this visual so that you can understand. So row num, new function, row number, very interesting function, relation, all. Now here I have data from two different dimensions. So what I need to do is summarize all selected sales. You can find out a better way, but right now I am using all selected sales, geography city, next is item brand. So I got my relation. As you know, on order by we are not going to add it to the relation as of now. Order by, net, comma, descending. So I'll use a second one also. So in case row number is not going to give me duplicate values, but in case the second value comes in, how would I decide at the time of windows that which value to be preferred? So for that, what I'm going to do is here is I will use geography city as the second one. And this is I'm going to use ascending. I can also use item brand to further make sure that I have that sequence along with me. What happens when you use rank function with the dance, the things can repeat. But here, definitely row number is not going to repeat the things, but I still wanted to know how it has ordered. So I want to give all those parameters to make sure that I know what value is going to come in, because same thing I'm going to go and use into the window function. So now you know what is going to be my window functions, at least relation and order by. But I need few things. So I need page size, number of pages. So let's calculate the measure the page size. So page size, this time I don't want to keep the very small page size. So I'm going to create a new measure, page size 2. So let me add page size 2 now. What is going to be the page size 2? It's going to be 10. We can use the same page slicer here, isn't it? So page slicer, I can use the same one. So let me bring in the page slicer here. So this is my page number which I bought in. Let me convert it into a slicer, and we need formatting. We don't need it like this. So we'll go to the layout. Inside the layout, number of rows 10. Can we give more than 10? 12, 20? No, 10. Number of column 1. What we'll do for overflow? Continuous scroll, vertical. Is it fine? And let's put it in sideways. So we'll be able to scroll quickly. This was the one limitation in my past visual, so which I have actually changed here. Keep a little bit of space on the top. I have page which I need to control. Right now it will go till 200, but actually I don't want till 200. I just want to restrict it till 130. That's the number I have. Okay. So now I need to control number of pages. So how do we control number of pages? We created a formula. Number of pages, this kind of formula. This again we need to create, and this time it will require a little bit different approach. So we create number of pages 2. So what is this going to be? This formula we need to change. Only this part of the formula we need to change. Count rows, summarize, all selected, sales, comma, geography city, whatever we are taking inside the visualization, geography city, comma, item brand, comma, _1, the new major name, and the major net. Why I am taking major? Because sometimes the major may reduce the number of rows. So now we got the number of rows, and based on this page size 2, so we should not get more than 130 pages. Okay, so we'll put here, we bring this in, number of pages is not blank. And why do we know 130? Because we have already tested it on the other one. But so we got 130 pages. Now first page is selected, there will be no impact here. In this visual will not have any impact. Okay, now let me double up this visual, and you will understand why I am duplicating this visual. So now I have visual 1, visual 2, and the visual 2 is something which I want to control. So I need a measure which can control this. So again we need a net, paginated net. I'll create a new measure. So I'll create a new measure, net page 2. How do we calculate that? Calculate net keep filters window. What we are going to need? Page sizes. So we need to bring in that page size calculation. So why don't we do one thing? We go ahead and copy the calculation, net page. We go to net page and let's copy the calculation from net page. So page value is going to remain same, that is the same measure, but page size is 2. Okay, now calculate net is going to remain same, min absolute, keep filter windows, min absolute, max absolute is going to remain same, and but this code is going to change, and this code should match with the same as the row number code. What we have written there is, we have written there summarize all selected sales, comma geography, city, comma item brand, then comma order by. What I need in order by is net. What I need in the net is descending. We have given a next parameter also there, so we'll give that same parameter here also. Geography, city, ascending, the next parameter. Do we need a partitioning? No. So close order by, close window, close keep filter, close calculate, enter. So let's bring in net page 2 into the second visual. So it's showing first 10, but the moment you go to the second, it's going to the second, third, fourth, fifth. What I would like to do here is this net page, I would like to add that as a visual level filter here, net page 2. Okay, so I click on the visual, second visual, and I'll check for net page 2 is not blank, apply. But the moment I go to the page 2, it is not coming. The reason it is not coming for the page 2, you see the row number is coming 1 to 10. And though while applying the filter, it was calculating it is 11 to 20. But this particular visual, when this measure has been put it's become 1 to 10. That's why it is not visible. So whenever you are going to use this number of pages inside the visual, then you have to use the net measure. Okay. Now, so this row number, you can use all now to get the absolute page numbers, but for your reference, let's look at the page second, which is starting from 11, which is Aurora brand 9, and Aurora brand 9 is the something which we are getting here. Okay, on the first one, let's start with the page 3. Page 3 should be 21 records, Seattle brand 11, Seattle brand 11. Now why I've done this page level, let me do one thing. Now what I can do here is basically I can actually remove this row number, even page. I don't need this, but I can have multiple measures like gross, margin, percentage. Now for that pagination, based on the net, I can continue to see all other measures also. And you can see this is a little bit faster. Even scrolling might take a little bit time. So what is happening on a larger data, I have created this pagination. And why it is important, because sometime on the bar visuals, especially on the bar visuals, you have asked many times that I don't want to display all of them records. I don't want to scroll. Sometimes it auto adjusts, it gives me thinner size than I expected. I still want to keep it that bigger. So you can use this pagination specifically for that particular visual. So you can control it by interactions, and this kind of slicer can help you, and this kind of page slicer can help you. I have used the new page button, but you can use the older slicer also. New window function has helped us in achieving the pagination little bit easier than the compared to the approaches what we could have done with the rank and rank, especially with the rank x function, or even with the rank function or row number function. So why don't you go ahead and try this out, and do let me know what else you want me to cover in this particular series. Thanks for watching this particular video. Thank you.